So in this wonderful law of sines problem, we even have 4 possible answers. So let's see if we can do some work and figure out what the right answer is. So we know that island A is 150 miles from island B. Let's see, 250 from A, and then finds that he is off course and 160 miles from... Okay, so let's see what's going on here. I need a pencil. There we go. So let's start off with island A here, and somewhere over here is island B. And that is exactly 150 miles from island A to island B. So somehow the captain goes off course without knowing it, travels 250 miles before he realizes it, and then says, uh-oh, I am now 160 miles away from where I wanted to be. So the question is, if he is right here, what angle must he turn through to head for island B? So we're going to put your compass right here, and we're going to figure out what degree he must turn in order to get there. Or potentially we have to make this one and subtract that. So let's see what it is that we have to do. So we have 3 sides. We need to find some angles. So let's go ahead and calculate this angle right here and see what we get before we have to figure out everything. Since this is the important angle, this is where the captain is, this is the angle that we need to know. So we can find this angle by using the law of cosines. And since this is the opposite side, it will go by itself. So 150 squared equals 250 squared plus 160 squared minus 2 times 250 times 160, this is long, times the cosine of the angle that we don't know. So we'll just call it C. The other 2 are A and B. It makes perfectly good sense. So if I solve this for C, I'm going to, of course, do this one and then subtract it over here and divide by all this stuff and then take the inverse cosine, and let's see what I get. So step 1 at a time. If I subtract this from this side, I get negative 6,500, 600. Well, that's not a real number. And over here, I still have negative 8d,000 times the cosine of C. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 8d,000. And the cosine of C is equal to 0.82. And now to solve this for the cosine, I inverse cosine both sides. So I take the inverse cosine, and I find that the measure of angle C is basically 35 degrees, so 34.9 or 35 degrees. So let's come back up here now that we know that's 35 degrees. Let's figure out what we have. So this is 35 degrees here.
Wait, it says the answer C, but I got it.
So if I'm going straight here, and this much is 35, 180, my straight line, minus 35 means I have to turn 180 minus 35. 145 degrees would be how much I have to turn in order to now be on a 35-degree angle heading back. So let's see, not A. Oh, B was tricky. That was the answer that I got, but that's not the answer for the question, not 110. Looks like C was the right answer, 145 degrees.